Old Mutual has recently made headlines for the wrong reasons, with allegations made against the insurer that it did not honour a pension policy payout agreement, even after a court judgment instructed it to do the same. This stemmed from the daughter of a customer sharing her frustrations on social media about it, which resulted in many social media users debating as to whether they should cancel their policies with the insurer. But it appears that there's been a happy ending to this saga, as the individual who aired her frustrations has since met with Old Mutual and publicly indicated that they're making good progress in bringing about a positive outcome. Well, to discuss the matter further, I'm joined by I Celiwe Ross. She's the Director for Strategy, People, Sustainability and Public Affairs at Old Mutual. I Celiwe, thank you so much for joining us. So what are the actual facts of the case, and why did Old Mutual allow things to get so bad with all the bad press on social media before it properly engaged with Miss Molefe and the family? I mean, apparently her tweets captured about over 1 million views, and it created a lot of debate, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Nompumelelo. One can't say we planned for this, and of course social media can run and rally in a way that's very difficult to plan for and to anticipate. And Ms. Molefe was clearly very frustrated in her experience as well. But I do want to explain that this is a very complex matter, and I think that gets lost in spaces where the engagement cannot be equitable. This is a very, very complex matter. Firstly, because we're dealing here with a pension fund, and therefore it means we are subject to the pension fund's regulations as well as the Income Tax Act. And those are different regulations, different legalities that need to be observed. There is also a pending or a legal matter between parties that are involved here that is its own legal process, which further complicates the matter. And so whilst it has been fairly protracted, it has been because it is difficult and it is complex. I think what was helpful was the in-person discussion between Ms. Molefe, so the daughter to Mrs. Molefe, and their legal representative talking through this. And that's not, if we had walked out of this discussion saying we will pay, of course that will tell you that we had to cave into something, and that's certainly not the case. I think that the Molefe family appreciates the complexity, appreciates of course the engagement. And as Ms. Molefe shared, we have highlighted 2 options to consider that can get us to a reasonable end.
Yeah, of course.
Old Mutual's intention has always been to pay.
So anyway, let me come in there. Of course, things are never black and white, and on social media, you know, people can jump on the bandwagon without having a full idea of what all the facts are. But as a result of Miss Molefe's post, it created a lot of chatter, with other people also sharing their negative experiences with you, and individuals talking about the possible cancellation of policies. Have you had, you know, some backlash as a result? Have you seen an increasing number of cancellations or calls for cancellation? And how are you fielding these calls?
At the moment, we're continuing to observe and watch for anything that looks like it's out or untoward. You know, people cancel policies for different reasons. We haven't seen anything that I would say is untoward, but one never knows what happens with these sorts of matters. The important thing is for us to continue to engage our customers, to continue to support them, and to continue to honor our obligations to them. And whilst there's been a furore on Twitter, which is respected and is concerning, of course, no one wants to be in the news for bad news or bad reasons, and to hear the disturbing stories that are being posted. I do want to also add, though, Nompumelelo, that 9 out of 10 of our funeral claims are paid in less than 4 hours. Oftentimes, it's actually less than 2 hours. If you have all the right documentation required to honor a funeral claim, we will pay it. And we pay it typically in less than 4 hours, and quite often in less than 2. Last year, Old Mutual paid in excess of 40 billion rands worth of claims. Every single working day at Old Mutual, we process 30 million rands worth of claims. 30 million rands leaves our account to honor the obligations we have to our customers.
And that's why obviously people do come and give you their money, because they trust that when an incident occurs, they'll get their money when they expect it. But obviously this saga will have done some, brand reputation damage to you, rightly or wrongly. How can you reassure current policyholders and those who may be contemplating getting a policy with Old Mutual that, you do things the right way, and that where there is a dispute, there's a way of being able to deal with it in a speedy fashion, and, people are not ducking and diving, to ensure that this matter or the matter is resolved?
Yeah. Old Mutual is a responsible business that operates in a highly regulated environment. We are expected to conduct ourselves in a certain way, and we hold ourselves to the highest account. We wouldn't exist if we didn't, because we exist off of the success and the commitment and the trust of our customers, and we need to continue that. And we will continuously demonstrate that, and obviously as we attempt to recover from this, that has to be the focus. And we have to continuously focusing on the customers who we do have, who are current policyholders, even those that are future policyholders. And to those who are in doubt, Nompumelelo, I would just repeat to them that 9 out of 10 of our funeral claims are paid in less than 4 hours. Every single day, Old Mutual processes and pays 30 million rands worth of claims. If you're in concern, know that there are customers who are in receipt of their claims and their processes. There are things that go wrong. Invariably, there are. So what is it that happens in the 1 of 10 cases that aren't meeting the 4-hour or less payment period in funeral claims, for example? Incorrect documentation is one, and that's the most important one. But it's a delay, not a non-payment. It is also important to realize that insurers are also subject to fraud. People can walk into an insurer and attempt to make a claim under fraudulent circumstances. For example, to claim to be a beneficiary when they are not, or to claim that someone has passed away when they haven't. And in those instances, of course, we have to investigate. We then will not pay if we discover an issue of fraud.
Yeah, of course you have to be...
In all other circumstances, we do.
Of course, you have to be a responsible citizen in that regard and make sure that those who are supposed to get the payout get it. Celiwe, thank you so much for speaking to us and clarifying the matters for us, and all the very best. That was Celiwe Ross. She's the Director for Strategy, People, Sustainability and Public Affairs at Old Mutual.